Game of Thrones has a lot of smart characters. Tyrion.
Let me give you some advice, bastard. Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor. And it can never be used to hurt you.
Varys.
Power resides where men believe it resides. It's a trick, a shadow on the wall. And a very small man can cast a very large shadow.
Tywin.
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
Each one knows how to play the game in their own way. But the one who really set everything in motion was Petyr Baelish, or as everyone knows him, Littlefinger. But even the smartest person sometimes makes a mistake. And Littlefinger made just one single mistake in the entire Game of Thrones, and that mistake is what ended his life. Littlefinger is not a warrior, not born into a big family, and definitely not someone with real power. But somehow, he's the reason the entire story of Game of Thrones even begins. What most people don't realize is that Littlefinger started the whole chain of chaos himself. It all goes back to before the first episode. He was in love with Catelyn Stark, but when she married Ned instead, it broke him. That's where it all started. So he made his first move. He convinced Lisa Arryn, Catelyn's sister, to poison her own husband Jon Arryn, the Hand of the King. And then, he made her send a letter to Winterfell blaming the Lannisters.
What news?
She's fled the capital. She says Jon Arryn was murdered. By the Lannisters. She says the king was in danger.
That one lie is what brought Ned Stark to King's Landing. It's what pulled the Starks into the political war they were never ready for. That's how the whole thing started, one man playing both sides just for his own advantage. From that moment on, he decided that power and control were all that mattered.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
We first see the true face of Littlefinger in Season 1, when Ned Stark comes to him for help. At this point, Ned has just uncovered the truth about Cersei and Jaime's children, that Joffrey is not the rightful heir to the throne.
Robert Baratheon, black of hair. Joffrey Baratheon, golden head.
And Ned, being the honorable man he is, believes the truth will set things right. But the problem is, King's Landing doesn't run on honor. It runs on whispers and betrayal, and nobody knows that better than Petyr Baelish. Littlefinger plays the role of a helpful ally at first.
We've plenty of time to get rid of Stannis, and if Joffrey seems likely to cause problems when he comes into his throne, we simply reveal his little secret and seat Lord Renly there instead.
He tells Ned that if they act quickly, they can control the throne. He offers the support of the City Watch, promising that with their backing, Ned will have the power to challenge Cersei and secure the succession until Stannis can take the throne. To Ned, this sounds like the lifeline he needs. After all, Littlefinger is the master of coin, a man with influence in King's Landing. Why wouldn't he trust him? But this is where the mask comes off. In the throne room, Ned makes his move. He confronts Cersei, presents Robert's last will, and calls on the City Watch to enforce his claim.
Your son has no claim to the throne.
Liar!
Commander! Take the Queen and her children into custody.
For a brief moment, it looks like Littlefinger has kept his word. And then, in the blink of an eye, the City Watch turns on him. Littlefinger puts a dagger to Ned's throat and delivers one of the coldest lines in the entire series.
I did warn you not to trust me.
After Ned's death, Littlefinger becomes one of the most dangerous people in Westeros. Not because he's strong or powerful, but because no one can ever tell whose side he's really on.
Littlefinger is one of the most dangerous men in Westeros.
When the War of the Five Kings begins, everyone is choosing sides. The Lannisters, the Starks, the Baratheons. But Littlefinger doesn't pick any of them. Instead, he plays all of them at once. In Season 2, King's Landing is falling apart. Stannis is coming to attack the city, the Lannisters are losing allies, and everyone is scared. That's when Littlefinger steps in, pretending to be the one who can fix things. He goes to Catelyn Stark and tells her he wants peace, even giving her Ned's bones as a fake sign of respect.
Consider it, Cat. You may not get another chance.
Then, not long after, he goes to the Lannisters and convinces them to marry Joffrey to Margaery Tyrell, turning two powerful houses into allies and taking all the credit for it. Because of that plan, Tywin rewards him with a new title and sends him to the Eyrie. Even when things get more dangerous, when Tyrion is accused of killing Joffrey, when the Lannisters are at war with everyone, Littlefinger doesn't choose a side. He just waits, smiles, and lets the chaos grow. But his biggest mistake shows up in his dealings with Sansa Stark.
I'd risk everything to get what I want.
And what do you want?
Everything.
It all starts in the Vale, right after he pushes her aunt, Lisa Arryn, through the moon door, in front of Sansa.
I've only loved one woman. Only one. My entire life. Your sister.
It's the first time Sansa truly sees who Littlefinger is, the mask slipping for a brief moment. Yet when the Vale's lords arrive to question what happened, Sansa lies for him. She tells them Lysa jumped, protecting the very man who just murdered her aunt.
She said she didn't want to live anymore. She stood on the edge of that moon door. He tried to reason with her, promised her she was the only one he had ever loved. But she stepped through those doors and she was...
That moment changes everything for Littlefinger. He starts believing that Sansa is completely under his influence, that she trusts him, maybe even admires him. What he doesn't realize is that this is where she starts learning from him. She studies his manipulation and his ability to twist truth into power. Then comes his biggest betrayal, handing her over to the Boltons. He tells himself he's giving her a chance to reclaim her home, but he's really trading her pain for power. When she escapes, she's not the same girl anymore. And when she gathers the armies of the Vale to crush the Boltons, it's poetic. She uses Littlefinger's own influence to destroy the very people he gave her to. Without him realizing it, she's already playing the game better than he ever did. But even after that victory, Littlefinger doesn't stop. He can't. Scheming is all he knows. He starts whispering again, this time in Sansa's ear, trying to turn her against Arya. He tells her Arya might want her title, that she can't be trusted, that maybe Arya came back for revenge. What he really wants is chaos, because chaos is where he thrives. If Arya and Sansa fight, he wins. Sansa would be alone again, and he could step back in as her trusted ally. But what he doesn't realize is that Sansa already knows his game. When she calls him into the Great Hall, he thinks Arya will be the one on trial. For years, he manipulated others by pretending to care. With Sansa, he did the same. But she was the one person who learned his game and beat him at it. In the end, Littlefinger's biggest mistake wasn't trusting the wrong people. It was underestimating the ones he taught.